Welcome to Small Talk. My name is David Shaw. This week for me has been dominated by the Young Christian Climate Network walk from Carbis Bay in Cornwall to Glasgow, where the COP26 conference is going to be. It passed through our region this last week, and my wife and I spent 2 days joining them on that walk. It's a relay walk. So it was fascinating when we joined the walk in Basingstoke to share with people who had walked prior to us. And when I stopped walking in Reading, knowing that some of the people I'd walked with were going to walk the next leg. And then they were going to be joined by some people from London who were going to walk for a whole week. And the baton for this relay race was the flag. Not very big, about that sort of in terms of the handle, and this by this in terms of the flag itself. COP26 Relay Walk, it said. And that baton had been held by hundreds of people before I held it last Tuesday. And then it's going to be held by thousands more in the coming months before November and when it reaches Glasgow and the COP26 conference. Relay. It made me think about the word relay in the Bible, and I don't think it exists in the Bible, but it's a theme that runs throughout the whole of Scripture. And so the name for God, the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, passing that on. When the prophet Elijah was transported to heaven, left his cloak, which was like a baton. So when his successor, Elisha, picked up the cloak, he was able to do the same things that his predecessor, Elijah, had done. And then in Deuteronomy, in the Deuteronomic account of the Ten Commandments, we're told that the sins of the fathers will be heaped on the children up to 3 or 4 generations. Oh, that's not so good. But then perhaps what's happening today in terms of the climate is as a consequence of generations before and people of my generation when we were younger. The impact and the consequences of those choices by generations, nationally and individually, will impact on my grandchildren. But then further on, it talks about telling the stories of God from one generation to another. So you who are listening to this small talk, and I who am delivering it, are part of a relay race. A relay about the planet. What sort of world do we want our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren to live in? A world that is less impacted by climate disasters, if at all possible. A world that is full of more diversity in terms of wildlife and in terms of plant life, in terms of meadows full of wildflowers, walking down country lanes, hearing a variety of birds. We also want to live in a world where young people hear about the wonderful stories of God in the Bible and what Jesus has done. You and I are in an awesome position where the baton is in our hand. It is a privilege, but also a responsibility to hold it for our generation and then to pass it on. Are you up for it?